I think that gaining my degrees will make a world of difference to my future. I think it will definitely change my life, and the Learning Potential Fund made that possible. I grew up as a only child in a single parent family just out at Conondale. It was just a local school, only 7 children I think in each grade. And I guess it was at that point that my mum sort of highlighted the importance of being independent, especially financially, so that's why I went down the path of tertiary education. I started to focus my thoughts on gaining a tertiary education when I was about 10 years old. From a young age I had been interested in human behaviour as a whole, and then I remember sitting in science class in high school and we were learning about neurology, and it just seemed to make a lot of sense to me. So I thought psychology is fairly scientific and that would be a good way to combine the two interests. One of the main challenges I had to face was moving away from home. It was a huge change. It was scary, but it was exciting as well, and it was a new beginning. A massive upheaval in life overall. I didn't know anybody down here, so there were a lot of costs associated with accommodation and food and travel. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this work. It was just such a great relief to realise that I'd been granted the Learning Potential Fund. It took a lot of stress out of every day, knowing that I'd be able to get through and afford all of the basics. Psychology is very competitive, so I was fairly determined to make sure that my grades were at a high standard, and to do that you really do need the ability to access up-to-date textbooks and quick internet so you can do all of the research. A lot of it went on a laptop that I was able to use, and then just all of the costs associated with printing. Otherwise I was having to travel via train and go to the university late at night. And it was just a bit daunting having come from Conondale. It just enabled me to do all of my printing and my work at home, which was great. Yeah, I worked for some not-for-profit organisations, so instead of being able to, study all the time, I was having to go to work, and it just allowed me to cut down a little bit on that and manage both. I was able to afford all the study materials with the Learning Potential Fund, and that allowed going home on weekends, and it was just good to be still connected to where I'd had my upbringing. And it was fantastic. I loved every second of that degree. After graduating from QUT, I was working for a non-for-profit organisation in community development, giving other people opportunities to do activities that they might not otherwise be able to do. And then that led me into occupational therapy, which is what I'm studying now. I'm currently working as a therapy assistant with an occupational therapist, and that's been an amazing learning curve. I'm hoping in the future to work in paediatrics, in brain injury rehabilitation, and I think that my psychology studies will give me a bit of a head start in that field. With children and the brain injuries, there's a lot of hope for improvement, and I think it's just a very important time to be working on rehabilitation, because you can see differences and you're making an impact on their future and helping to improve their life, and that's what I'm passionate about. My ultimate aim would be to spend some time overseas in some developing countries, so occupational therapy and psychology could integrate together to help improve the lives of those people, both emotionally, psychologically and physically as well. I think that's my main focus in life, is to work on improving the lives of others. A lot of people just need a little bit of help, and I'd like to play a part in that. It just made me feel supported by the university, and to know that there are people out there that do have an interest in your education. The Learning Potential Fund has just opened my eyes to support from complete strangers can make a world of difference to somebody else's life, and it certainly had a very positive impact on my life, so I'd like to do the same in the future. There were a lot of people my age that didn't attend university at the end of school because they felt it was too far away and it would be too much of a move, both emotionally and just practically. Although it's scary at times and you don't know what you're going to do for dinner the next day, all of the hard work is worth it at the end, because you come out with a degree and you have a competitiveness and an edge and the ability to be independent throughout life from that point onwards.